Hey Gemini, how are you all doing? Welcome to your love reading. Gemini, thank you for your patience. And thank you for being here and bringing your energy to the channel. So Gemini, I'm just clearing the space. We're going to be doing a love check-in for you today just to see what's going on. Any messages that the universe, spirit, your guides have for you today in terms of love. Mercury has gone direct today, thank goodness. It has been quite an intense Mercury retrograde cycle for me. I don't know about you. You can let me know in the comments below. But yeah, communication in general hasn't been that easy in the last retrograde. So let's see, Gemini. So this is going to be a general love reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I have a Venus in Gemini. So I do love your energy, Gemini. It's interesting with my Venus in Gemini, most of my relationships, romantic relationships, have been with Geminis. I married a Gemini as well, so it just shows how your placements do have an influence on what you're attracted to. So let's see, Gemini. I'm using the Witch's Tarot today just to get some messages for you, and then we'll clarify with the Arcanum. So, Spirit, thank you and please. Thank you for allowing me to be your messenger today. Only messages of love and light. Negative energy must leave this space now. Spirit, please come into this reading. Bless this reading. Make this your message only. Clear and guided messages for the Gemini collective in terms of love. What is going on for Gemini in terms of love? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters. So Gemini, I don't know, I don't think this is my energy, but I've been feeling very restless this morning, like not able to settle down. You might be feeling this energy, and this actually could be the Mars in Gemini placement at the moment. Mars, can be a very restless energy, or the shadow side of Mars at least. And with my Venus in Gemini, Venus is the planet of love. So whatever your Venus placement is, also check that out if this reading doesn't resonate. So, Gemini. Let's see. Just checking more cards. Okay, Gemini, what is coming towards you? What is going on in terms of love? The Nine of Swords. Overthinking, anxiety. The Seven of Cups. Wow, a lot of confusion. Wow, the Eight of Swords. There's some difficult energy here, Gemini. And the Seven of Wands. Wow. This is very defensive energy. Let me just get some more. Why is the Nine of Swords here, Gemini? Why is the Seven of Cups here for Gemini? Why is the Eight of Swords here? Oh, wow. Why is the Seven of Wands here for Gemini? The Bottom of the deck, the Five of Cups, and behind that, the Empress. Gemini, this feels very heavy. This is a very heavy energy that's coming through today from your reading. At the bottom of the deck, or in the subconscious, is the Five of Cups energy. The Five of Cups is a Scorpio card, and Scorpios, very intense water signs, very intense emotion going on here. But it's also about loss. It's, can sometimes be or signify depression. I feel like you're focusing a lot on, everything that has happened in the past, Gemini, and what has not worked out for you in terms of love, relationships, situationships, connections. The Five of Cups energy, though, tends to focus on the past and what has been lost, and has not necessarily acknowledged that there is still hope, because there are still two cups standing in this card. In all the Five of Cups cards, there's always two cups that are upright and three cups that have spilled over. So you might have gone through a lot of loss, or at the moment are going through some loss, Gemini, or just repeating, memories or thought patterns around this loss in love that you have been experiencing. And with Mercury retrograde, those feelings do come up, because Mercury retrograde, brings up ex-lovers, sometimes even communication from ex-love situations, or memories or thoughts about the past that haven't yet been processed or healed. Sometimes we think we have healed a situation or gone through or past a situation, and something can trigger us, maybe it's a new connection. And I do feel with the cards that are here, I do feel there's some kind of connection or person that you're dealing with that is triggering the sense of loss in you again. Maybe a repeating cycle or a repeating pattern, Gemini. But let's see. I think you're manifesting that that you step more into your feminine energy, which is, being more receptive, being more open, not necessarily chasing things or situations that are not reciprocating your efforts and reciprocating your emotions and your energy, the energy that you're putting in. I do feel like you might be feeling a little bit despondent in terms of, the lack of reciprocation that you have been getting or receiving from a few relationships. This could be family as well. This could be friendships as well. So Gemini, what we have here is some very challenging energy, actually. We've got the Nine of Swords, clarified by the Three of Cups. So I do feel like, you might be waiting on, a specific energy to ask you out on a date, or to communicate, or, waiting for some kind of reconciliation or reunion. That's what the Three of Cups is. It's also a card of, it can be a card of gossip as well. A lot of, people involved in the situation, maybe even a third party. The person that you're interested in may not be fully available, and this is what is causing, the anxiety within you. You could have been waiting, for the situation to turn around, for something to give, for something to change, for this person perhaps to move on from a third party situation. And, remember, Gemini, third party does not have to be a person. It could be work, it could be community, family, even an addiction that you're dealing with. But any energy that interferes with a connection with two energies, any third energy that is coming in to interfere, is a third party energy. it's creating a lot of anxiety for you, Gemini. You might be going through a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of overthinking about this. And you are an air sign. So as air signs, we do tend to overthink, to overanalyze. Air is thought energy, it's mental energy. And when it comes to love situations, especially if it's confusing, if there's, the communication is not clear, if there's no communication, we can get up in our heads and overanalyze and think up different scenarios that might not necessarily be true. So what they're saying is just to be aware of that, Gemini, not to project your anxieties or experiences on or from the past onto this situation as well, because that's what will end up happening if we're not fully healed from, past triggers or past situations that kind of left us in the lurch or high and dry. You might also be imagining that this person is playing you, or involved in different connections or different relationships, which might not actually be the truth. Especially because those swords are lying horizontal, Gemini. There's no communication, I feel, with this connection, with this situation. There isn't any communication. It's kind of flatlined. That could be the Mercury retrograde energy. It just could be that you and your person are just not on the same page right now, or not in the space to communicate openly, honestly, and freely. And it is causing you a lot of anxiety. So just, try and also step into your own energy of celebration, like being in the present moment, enjoying friends and family as well, maybe not focusing on this connection too much, because I do feel like it's getting you up in your head way too much, to the point where, it's kind of consuming most of your energy and most of your thought energy as well. So you could be feeling drained. So try and also stay, with the Three of Cups energy. This is celebration. This is family. This is going out. This is having fun. This is appreciating the other love relationships in your life as well. When we become fixated on one specific energy, we can, forget that there is actually love all around us. And the reminder to just be in the present moment, appreciate the present moment, appreciate who is reciprocating your energy and giving you that sense of emotional fulfillment, or returning it. And bring your own energy back, Gemini. I do feel like you're trying to make a choice about this. You're trying to consider all your options. You might have a lot of options, but there's a lot of fantasizing going on with the Seven of Cups here, as well as the Nine of Swords. It makes me think that, the analysis of your options, or the analysis of the situation, is what's causing the anxiety. You don't know which way to move, which direction to go in. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of illusion around the situation as well, especially if there's no communication. We can make up a lot of stories about what is actually going on. That's also the Seven of Cups energy. Usually, it can be fantasizing as well, but with the other cards on the table, I'm not getting that energy. I am just getting a lot of confusion, a lot of not knowing which direction to take, because clarifying the Seven of Cups is the Eight of Cups, which is about moving away from things that are not bringing you emotional fulfillment, things that are not bringing you happiness. So I am happy to see this progression. I do feel you're moving into this energy, Gemini. I do think that you will be seeing more clearly about the situation if you haven't already. And it's going to be allowing you to make a decision to move on, to leave behind, what is not reciprocating your energy. because this is very difficult energy to be in. It feels very stuck, very stagnant, and it's preventing you from enjoying your own life, independent of this situation, independent of this person. However it resonates for you, Gemini, I do feel like there's a move away from this situation because it is causing a lot of anxiety and keeping you feeling trapped. There could be some physical travel as well. You might be needing to move physically away from this situation. Now we have the Eight of Swords here as well. There's a lot of swords energy in the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and clarifying the Eight of Swords is the Seven of Swords energy. These are difficult energies to be in. The Swords cards are really about communication, about clarity, about clarity of mind. I do feel like there is some manipulation in this situation. There is not a lot of truthful communication. Things are being hidden. This person is not communicating clearly with you. They're not telling you the full story about what's going on with them. And it's keeping you feeling trapped. And what I want to say to you, Gemini, is that you can free yourself from this entrapment. This person is surrounded by swords, but there's enough space for her to move out of it. And again, it's this over-analysis, this overthinking. You might also be deceiving yourself by your own thoughts about the situation. And that only happens when communication is unclear. In a healthy connection, in a healthy relationship, you wouldn't need to guess what the other person is thinking or what the other person is feeling. You wouldn't need to be up in your head over analyzing because it would be clear. So there are a lot of red flags that you are seeing in the situation, Gemini, and I think you might have been ignoring them, which is what is causing this trapped feeling or this trapped energy. And I feel like you're kind of beating yourself up about it and thinking, how did I get here again? Maybe you feel there's a cycle that's repeating here. Be gentle with yourself, Gemini. There could be situations that, you've gone through in the past that you haven't yet fully healed. So it's just to be aware of what is triggering you. Be aware of what is causing, this overthinking, this overanalysis. And really to honor yourself, to draw strong boundaries with people that are not being open and honest, and with people that are being manipulative. Gemini, you could have experienced, whether it was childhood or in previous relationships, a demonstration of love that was based on manipulation or mind games, playing with your emotions, not communicating clearly. Gaslighting is what I just heard, especially if you are an empath, this narcissist empath dynamic. If you've ever been, involved with a narcissist, you will know what I'm talking about. It's this feeling of, you feel like you are the one that is not doing enough or that is, in the wrong all the time. And I do feel like this person can be very clever with their words, careful with what they say. Kind of leave you hanging a little bit, like give you a little bit of information but not the full story. And so what you then do is try and make it up, or seek knowledge about it on your own. I don't feel like you feel comfortable enough being open with this person, Gemini, and that's not a healthy connection to be in. I do feel like there's a fear of rejection here as well. And it could be on both sides. There is definitely some sabotage going on here with this connection. But it's not an easy energy. It's really, this energy is, whew. And we've got the Seven of Wands here as well. So this is also about, being defensive. These wands are basically unseen enemies. There's no one holding those wands that he's defending himself against. But it feels like, this energy of you're being attacked and you're always on edge, or you feel like you have to defend your boundaries and defend your opinion, defend what you're saying. There's a lot of miscommunication in this situation, Gemini. It feels like if the communication is there, it's not necessarily easy communication, because it feels like both of you are in defense mode or on the defense. This is also about protecting something, and I feel like you've been trying to protect this connection or trying to fight for this connection. But you're not getting the same energy back. You might be, this could be your wish fulfillment. This could be what you've projected in terms of, the expectation that you had of this connection, of this person, this Ten of Cups energy, emotional fulfillment. But it's not manifesting. It's just not coming to fruition. So I do feel, the other message here is that just be aware of what you're fighting for and what you're putting your energy into. And if it is really, truly bringing you emotional fulfillment, if there's clarity, if it feels healthy, the moment we feel like we have to overanalyze or overthink or second guess or try and manipulate our own communication to get a reaction from someone, that is not peace. And the Ten of Cups also represents your peace. And I feel like these two cards together are saying to protect your peace, Gemini. Have strong boundaries. Seven of Wands is also about having strong boundaries. It's also, very much about the solar plexus energy, which is self-confidence. Finding that confidence and happiness within yourself. You might have been placing too much emphasis on this other person or this other situation to make you feel at peace or to make you feel this emotional fulfillment. And the danger with that is when there is no communication or when it is unclear and confusing, it then affects your sense of self-worth, and that shouldn't be the case. Your self-worth should be intrinsic. It should be something that is, inherently part of you and not dependent on another person's actions or lack of action or manipulation or communication. So just be aware of your boundaries, Gemini. I'm getting really strongly that this situation is not really healthy for you right now. I do really get a sense of just difficult energy from your person. Maybe even snappiness or the communication is definitely not easy right now. Knight of Swords energy, very short, snappy, guarded, standoffish. And you could be, kind of up in your head about that, Gemini, wondering if it's something that you did. I am getting that it's not necessarily something that you have done, Gemini. So again, be aware of taking the blame for this, or on your own. Again, that is that gaslighting energy that I keep getting. I just keep getting that this person makes you feel like, you are the reason for their behavior. And that is just not fair, So Gemini, I want to get some closing messages for you. Yeah, they just said protect your energy, protect your peace is coming out very strongly in this reading. And I do feel like you need to take a step back from this connection for a while and just focus on yourself. Get back to what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel alive again. Yeah, the Seven of Cups flipped over. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. I just saw the King of Cups. Strength. You're needing to build up your strength again, Gemini. I do feel like this connection has knocked it out of you. And you were in a good space. I do feel like you were in a really good space. But there's a deep trigger here. So look at that as well. What are your triggers in this situation? Okay, Gemini. So overall messages of advice for my beautiful Gemini collective. Overall messages of advice for Gemini. Wow. Overall messages of advice for Gemini. Yeah. Yeah. The bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor energy. So if you are dealing with anything less than Emperor energy, Emperor energy does not manipulate. It is not in the reverse. Yes, the shadow side of the Emperor is, stubbornness, control, being controlling. It can also be a representation of narcissism. That's the shadow side of the Emperor. So if you are dealing with a personality like this, pull your energy back, Gemini. Just pull your energy back and don't feed into it. You might be even trying to defend yourself. That doesn't work with a narcissistic personality. I keep getting that for some reason. You're wanting a stable energy. You're needing stable energy. And Spirit is saying, you need to take a time out because the universe is kind of pushing you, showing you these red flags and, asking you to pay attention to them so that another cycle is not repeated. Gemini, there's someone here that is not communicating, that is not fully healed, that is not, having your best interests at heart. I do get a very, like a selfish energy, not considerate of where you are at, what your feelings are, coming in and communicating when they feel like it or when they need validation, and not really caring about where you are at and where your needs are. So again, no more relying on this person to have your needs met, Gemini. I do feel like you need a time out with this Hanged Man energy. Just to get a different perspective. You do need to take a step back from the situation, pray about it, ask for guidance about it, look at it from a different perspective. This is enlightenment. So the situation is actually forcing you to pause, Gemini, and really ask yourself what is causing this turmoil and this turbulence within you, because we have the Tower here, card of Pisces, major arcana, card of Scorpio, major arcana. Something is coming crashing down, or it's falling apart, because I don't feel like you are necessarily heeding the signs or heeding the messages that are coming through clearly from Spirit. And when that happens, the universe will make us so uncomfortable that we have to move on, that we just have to move on. You cannot sustain being in a comfortable, destructive situation. There is destruction. There's a lot of, I feel, destructive energy here, a lot of toxic energy. And it is draining you, my beautiful Gemini. And it's coming in for a reason, and asking you to step back and look at what it is that you need and what you need. In fact, I realized this yesterday. I have a Venus in Gemini. What I realized yesterday was that this is actually what I need. I've been trying to, as an Aries rising, I do have a lot of fire energy. And even though I'm a Taurus sun, and I'm sharing this with you, Gemini, because it might resonate, being, having my Venus in Gemini. Being a Taurus sun, you would think that I, am very grounded and that I, am a natural nurturer. Yes, I am. I am a mom. I am a homemaker. There's a lot of Taurus within me, but I have a lot of fire as well with that Aries rising. And so what I actually need in a partner, or what I actually desire and want to manifest in a partner, is someone that is stable, very grounded, willing to invest, this feeling of home. That's the King of Pentacles energy. It's fixed energy. It is Taurus energy. But someone with strong earth, someone that is grounded, that is not afraid of, standing in their truth, standing in their power, someone very abundant, materially speaking as well, but very confident and willing to go for the long haul. Not playing around, not messing around, investing, helping you feel, grounded as well. Not in a codependent way, but helping each other feel comfortable within each other's skin. And what I realized yesterday is that that is what I miss. My ex-husband was this energy, is this energy. Very much hands-on, always looking after, always protecting, very invested emotionally as well, and materially, making sure that the home is safe, that the family is safe. And it's that kind of energy, it's the complete opposite energy of a manipulative, difficult, controlling energy. And this is, you could be so used to being in a dynamic where the idea of love might be, or your feeling of the idea of love is that you have to fight for it, that you have to defend, that you have to fight, that you have to push through, to get to the end until you find the sense of bliss. That could be what this energy is as well. Like just fighting and hoping that one day it's going to turn around and you'll eventually find bliss with this person. But we do know that, you cannot change someone if they're not willing to shift themselves, if they're not willing to bring, their part to the table. Your person is in this energy, holding back a lot, not sharing, not investing, keeping their cards to themselves, a little bit of a miserly energy, only concerned about their needs. And that's definitely, not the type of situation or connection you want to be in, Gemini. This is the energy that Spirit is guiding you towards. And I think there's going to be a pause, and maybe a bit of a long pause, where you just need to gather your strength again, my beautiful Gemini, and just leave the situation behind, because this is what it's doing. It's taking you deeper into your heartbreak. I'm sorry, Gemini. I'm actually feeling emotional. I'm sorry that this reading is so difficult, or that you are going through such a difficult time with love. They're saying one more. Yeah, this is the energy you want. This feeling of happiness, of home, the sense of childhood. You could be missing that in your life, Gemini. Just this feeling of joy and wonder and celebration. Kite flying, running barefoot on the grass, eating ice cream, letting it run down your chin. Childhood memories, things that bring you joy. I'm getting really strongly that, this is what you need to start stepping into again, is that feeling of joy from within, and not, relying on anything outside of yourself. And once you find that joy, once you find that sense of bliss on your own, no one can take that away from you. It's only when we feel like a relationship has to come in for us to feel that way, or, a job or an external situation needs to come in so that we feel better, so that we feel validated, so that we can feel happiness again. That's where the problem comes in, because you start attaching to that idea, and when it doesn't, pan out or manifest the way that we expect, that's when we can then go into depression, overanalysis, anxiety. So the advice for you today, Gemini, is just to, find the sense of bliss within yourself again, the sense of self-love, and what brings you joy and brings you happiness outside of this connection. The bottom of the deck, to get you out of this energy, this blocked energy. You shouldn't feel, look at that, behind that, the Nine of Swords. You should not feel like this in a healthy connection. These are red flags, Gemini. Walking away behind the Nine of Swords, walking away towards what it is that you want. Really, stepping out of this crossroads, stagnant energy, and taking it to the next level for yourself, moving away. I do feel for some of you that this is literally about traveling as well, moving away from a situation. But remember this energy, Gemini, being safe within yourself, being grounded within yourself, and not depending on anyone else to give this to you. I wish I had a different message for you today, Gemini. I'm sending you so much love. If you'd like a personal reading, and again, if this doesn't resonate, don't force it to fit, Gemini. Look at your other placements as well. Your moon, your rising, your Venus, your Mars placement as well, if this doesn't resonate. But if you'd like a personal reading, all my details are in the description box below. Thank you so much for staying to the end, for watching, for being patient with me, for subscribing, for bringing your energy to the channel and getting this message out. I really do appreciate all of you. And I'm sending you so much love with this, Gemini. You are enough. You are enough. Have a blessed Sunday.